Much like the Night King's heart after the coldest night of the long night, Game of Thrones fans are pretty much dead inside after being subjected to years and years of heartbreak, suffering and misery. Granted, we are still treated to a few remnants of humanity and hope as seen by Sam's friendship with Jon, Tyrion's decency to others and Jon's unshakable devotion to his family, but for the most part, we've suffered. Seven hills have we suffered. As every single Game of Thrones fan will know, relationships don't tend to last very long in Westeros. Khal Drogo and Daenerys' marriage was effectively ended by witchcraft. Ned Stark was decapitated, and as for the other members of House Stark and their partners, well, the Red Wedding was great fun. Heck, even the one relationship that has stood the test of time in the series is seriously messed up, Jaime Lannister and his sister Cersei. Despite this environment of despair and heartbreak, Game of Thrones fans were delighted to see Grey Worm and Missandei finally hook up and enjoy a few tender moments. Sex is as common in the show as anything else, but in the previous 6 seasons, we've been privy to some pretty brutal and violent sex scenes. This is why the racy scene between Grey Worm and Missandei was so welcome. Speaking to Entertainment Weekly, Nathalie Emmanuel Missandei talked about the moment when her character finally consummated this long-simmering romance. There's something unique about it purely because of Grey Worm's situation. His brutal history of being mutilated. There's a real sense of trust here, and that really plays out in this lovely scene where they physically act upon their love. For him to do that is a really big deal, and Missandei knows that and doesn't really care. She just loves him, and that intimacy they've shared comes to a head, she said. Despite this important moment for these two beloved characters, viewers at home were only curious about one thing. We can't have been the only ones to think this, okay? They're also wondering about another thing, but get your mind out of the gutter watching Grey Worm and Missandei tonight, and all I can think of is why didn't they close the door. Game of Thrones Grey Worm Missandei. Tori Rendell at Goya Fanatic, July 24, 2017. The biggest unanswered question from Game of Thrones Season 7 Episode 2, why didn't Grey Worm and Missandei close the door? Kathleen V at Kathleen Correct. July 24, 2017. Did anyone else keep thinking why haven't they shut the door through that whole Grey Worm and Missandei scene? Got Guts 7 EP2 George Alborn at George Alborn, July 24, 2017. Was I the only one that was more concerned with the fact that Missandei and Grey Worm left the door open? Game of Thrones 7 Game of Thrones Jazz at Jazzy Page X, July 24, 2017. About Grey Worm and Missandei, the one thing everyone thought of didn't even bother me as much as the fact they forgot to close the door. Standa at Hoda Chicks, July 24, 2017. Dem Thrones y'all Missandei didn't close Grey Worm's door. Anybody walking past would be like pic.twitter.com MPO4FX Oil. Chris Weinrich at Chris Weinrich, July 24, 2017. Zoo Missandei and Grey Worm just gone leave the door wide open. Game of Thrones Dem Thrones pic.twitter.com 3NWCJTWXCT Remy No Chaser at Maverick413 July 24, 2017. After reading this, we only have one thing to say.